Okay, in this video we're going to do a two-sample test for difference in means. So notice I'm on the two-sample mean independent tab here. If you look at the files, the confidence intervals and hypothesis testing. Okay, so accounting today reported accounting firms in different regions. All 10 regions reported growth. The Southeast and Gulf Coast regions reported growth of 12% and 9.5%. So description of the firms in these regions include the number of partners in the firm. The file contains the number of partners. So I've got that pasted right here. So the number of partners in each of the two regions. So at the 5% level of significance, is there evidence of a difference between the Southeast region and Gulf Coast region with respect to the mean number of partners? Okay. So as before, let's go to our template. So I've got the template here, and let's go ahead and copy paste this all the way over here into cell A1. Okay. So if you just double click on these lines, it'll automatically extend the width. Okay, so this we've got the just general data, sample 1 and sample 2. So as usual, the highlighted cells are the ones we need to update. So here the first thing we should do is copy paste our actual data in. So let's go ahead and grab our data. So I'm just going to do copy, paste. I forgot to make these general, but these are already updated for the different regions. So sample 1 is the Southeast, sample 2 is the Gulf Coast. And we just need to make sure all of these cells are updated to the correct number of dimensions. So it looks like my Excel did this for me already. So if you look, so for the mean here, for the sample 1, if you look up here, it says average A2 to A18, which is correct because this is A2 to A18. And then for B, it would be B2 to B19. So let's check over here. I look in this cell, look up here, B19. So it updated both of these correctly. So you just need to double check. So let me A2 to A18, 18, okay. Over here, 19, 19, and 19. Okay, we're all good to go. So even though these say 11, we needed this to update to 18. 18, and this updated to 19. So sometimes Excel updates automatically like it did for me here, but if it doesn't, you just gotta change that yourself. Okay, hypotheses. So this was just testing whether there was a difference between the number of firms. So this is going to be two-sided, so I'm just going to update this with something a little more meaningful. So instead of 1, I'll write SE for Southeast. Same down here. For 2, I'll write GC for Gulf Coast. Because this is two-sided, I'm just going to leave the equals and not equals to here. Okay, so now we can do the hypothesis test. So the null value here, well, we're just testing to see if they're equal, so I'll just leave this as 0. The level of significance was given to us as 0.05. All right, and everything should have updated. So the difference between 36 and 33 is about 3. Notice we're doing pooled variance, so in your homework you can just go ahead and use pooled variance, and of course that is one of the assumptions, so let's write populations have equal variance. We also know populations are normally distributed, and we also know that we need to take random samples from independent populations. Okay, and then we need to look at our p-values to make a conclusion. So this is a two-tailed test. So let's go ahead and get rid of the one tail. We don't need these. We just need two tail. And we get a p-value of 0.83. So is 0.83 less than 0.05? No. So we will fail to reject H naught. Then if we look at our confidence interval for the difference, we have between negative 26 and 32. We'll note that 0 is in that interval. Then if we wanted to also look at our assumption for normality, we could create a histogram. So that's not particularly meaningful. Let's check the other one. Let's see what happens if we do a histogram for this one. Okay, so it's hard to check our test for normality here because our sample size is so small. It's unlikely you're gonna see normality in a histogram. You need a larger sample size. So here we might not say this is a reasonable assumption. And I should title these. This was, what was it? Southeast and Gulf Coast. Okay, but that is everything for independent populations looking at the difference in means.